this is where the initial idea and contemplation of the Federation began. So we're going to definitely send our flagship to that. Welcome back, everyone. This is Panicking with GreyWolfs, and we are back with some more Star Trek New Horizons mod for Stellaris. There is the Enterprise. And of course, as before, look right up there. Little smiley face. Well, he ain't smiling. Alright, when we last left off, we had started expanding our territory some more. We had beat off the Terra Prime movement. And now we are settling into the United Earth. And we're going to expand our borders a little bit more and try to start colonizing some of these planet systems that we have here. As you can see, the green, more habitable for us than the yellow. And of course, the red, we don't have that technology yet, but we will eventually. As of right now, we are going to keep expanding our territory and settling in these planets. Once we get pretty comfortable with our territory, like if we can get around in here, the Klystron, Minas Corva, I will opening up trade and research agreements with these civilizations around me. As of right now, what you can see, you have the Tezik, Tellarite, Denoblian, Syrian, Andorian more there. The Vulcans, we know that the Bolian League is there. We see Romulus. We already know who, of course, is there, but we haven't. They haven't fully been acknowledged by us yet as far as their territory. Orion's here, Vulcans, and then we have the Temerian Unity and the Trill. The Betazoids should be right here, but right now they're still at a work-capable age, so they should pop up, but might need a little influence from us to kind of like get them on their way, to help them get out there. So let's get going and see what we can do. Trying to see where everybody's at right now. It has been a minute since we've been here, so let's go ahead and find out where everybody's at, get them all in their right locations. Pretty much right now, most of the science ships are going through and getting anomalies that we left behind and just making sure that there's anything that needs to be done within the sector. If we had to dispatch a science ship or anything like that, we've got a couple of them sitting around to take care of. All right, so this is our last ascension perk for the Discovery tab. Okay, so when you do this, when you fill out these tabs and you get them fully researched or fully supported, or however you want to say it, you'll get where you can build a ascension pack slot. Now, it has a bunch of different ones. I will tell you one of the main ones, I'll go through these, just give me a second, is I think it was this one here, the Naval Capacity and Fleet Command Sublight Speed. This is usually one that in the older updates and stuff I used to run first all the time, but it does require that you have one ascension pack already, as you can see, before you can grab this one. I like to do this one. Let me see that. All right, you got World Shaper and Mark 25 Warp Sensor, Fleet Maneuvers, Interstellar Domain, Diplomatic Corps, and several more. I mean, you can see there's an entire list of different ones you can support and get started on. I like to go with the Fleet Maneuvers first because of the sublight speed and the ship rate of fire. It really comes in handy early on in the game. Not that we plan on having any problems, but in case we do, we've got that backup. All right, so we got a star base up here in Altar, so that's gonna anger the Denoblians a little bit because that's us pushing against them. We're gonna try see if we can't put one right there too, because that's a habitable planet and everything. So we'd like to sorry about that jump there. It's a habitable planet and be good for us to go ahead and put a base there. Yep. So we're gonna get that one going. Into the orbit, unusual subspace readings are quickly determined to be radiating from a vessel on a rapid intercept course, not matching any known hull configuration. The intentions of the ship are impossible to ascertain. Initial hails are met with silence. Alright, so let's go full reverse. Something called the crossing. The alien vessel continues to approach the Clark despite Captain Karn's attempt to initiate contact. As the two vessels are within meters of each other, the giant frontal bay door opens. Attempt to bring the U.S. Clark onto its interior. The orders to reverse course comes too late as the USS Clark is brought inside the alien vessel. Giant chamber of unknown design and function holds the USS Clark. Filled with a helium atmosphere, the ship appears to be empty of life. Okay, so let's investigate the interior and see what we can find. As Captain Karn leads the way team into the vessel interior, the helium atmosphere is replaced with a mixture more accommodating to human life. A number of bright blue wisps of light fill the chamber, floating around the away team. One passes through Captain Karn's EVA suit as he looks around, bemused for several moments before the wisp leaves him and rejoins the rest of the cloud. The captain is dazed but believes the wisps are in some way sapient and maybe key to escaping the vessel's interior. Let's go attempt dialogue. The ship's communication officer volunteers to be possessed by one of the wisps in order to attempt to learn from them moments after the blue ball of light passed through the EVA suit. An attempt is made to enter conversation. Surprised by the willingness to talk, the wisp indicates that it belongs to a non-corporeal species and that the vessel they are within sustains it and its people. The vessel is failing through a lack of repair, however. The wisps have had to resort to possessing the corporeal bodies of aliens in order to survive. Okay, so let's offer to repair the vessel. Working with the wisp through possessed volunteers, the USS Clark attempts to repair the wisp's vessel and provide a number of long-term maintenance systems that should prevent further damage for a number of years to come. While the repairs appeared to be successful at first, after cycling the Wisp's primary power regulator, catastrophic power failure cascades across the entire power distribution network. A series of explosions erupt across the alien vessel, which erupts in a blast of plasma. Ah, Lord. The USS Clark is destroyed within the alien vessel. And that guy died as well. My captain. Damn. So that's some of the things that you also run into when you're playing this, is that this just weird crap that'll happen out in space, things like that, that'll just clunk you, kill you off. All right, so let's get this guy back down here to do some more on these research lines. I think he was exploring Vega there for a second. We still have the Enterprise here at Sol System, and we have another science ship sitting here at Strove, not doing too much, but I think he was in the process of doing the anomalies. So I'm going to actually send him back south to finish these up. That's at Ross, that's at Alpha. I will send the Enterprise over here to Alpha Centauri to do that one. I might send them down through here on this western side or eastern side of the system here, or territory here, to do the same thing. So let's see what research we've got. Let's go ahead and get the bunker network put in. We still got a lot of these that we've got to do as well. Let's do the shuttle defense pod. All right, let's see what happened. We got fleet upgrade on one of our construction ships. Andorians have opened their borders again, and we got Pelar completed. So we still don't have enough yet to completely do all these down in here. So I'll just send the construction ship back to do these few little jobs that it has around the area and get those knocked out. All right, so this is for the Babel 1 Summit, Peace Summit, which comprise of Earth, Tellar Prime, Andoria, and Vulcan will be in attendance. This is where the initial idea and contemplation of the Federation began. So we're going to definitely send our flagship to that and jump all over it. Like I said before, it is usually at Wolf 424, and I think that's where we're at again. Let's get a few things out of our way. Let's get back started. Alright. Let's get going. So we got some of our construction ships going out and getting these last minerals that just popped in. Go ahead and get those resources and start getting them gathered up. Science ships are going around and getting the space anomalies like we had skipped over earlier when we were exploring and trying to, map out our territory type of thing. All right, so let's go with the anomalous substance. While surveying Alpha Centauri B3, the Enterprise has detected an anomalous morphogenic fluid pooled at the bottom of a natural crevice in the planet's northern hemisphere. It appears to exhibit some capacity for independent movement. However, full analysis will require further analysis. All right, so full analysis will require further analysis. We have this marked. They are actually doing the denobulant patterns right now to find out about those. If y'all remember from the last episode. All right, let's go ahead and get some of these source minerals and stuff. Get a mining station put on there so we can start gathering more of those resources. Everything else looks okay so far. I'm not seeing any like big fights or like disgruntledness between too many people here. Let's check out our research. The bunker network is done. We're gonna jump over to the atmospheric filter here for increase the habitability of our planets. That will give us a little bit more people on each one. And here we've got the fusion torpedo, the buttress core support hub, and advanced space ballistics. Let's do the fusion torpedo. And we also need to go ahead and upgrade our fleet. All right, we've got one done. So this is objects in space. After several hours of searching, the crew of the USS Fahrenheit seemed to about to give up searching a mysterious signal. However, a science officer detects a very subtle shift in subspace that indicates a present object hidden in plain sight. Science officers suggest that a concentrated tachyon emission from the USS Fahrenheit main deflector dish may be sufficient to reveal the object, as the subspace shift bears many similarities to existing cloaking technology. Let's do it. All right, let's stop. Let's do the objects in space, and then we'll get to this other one here. The tachyon burst successfully reveals the object. It appears to be similar in function to the human probe, complete with some sort of cloaking technology to hide it from most attempts. All right, upon seeing the discovery, the probe attempts to activate a self-destruct mechanism. No doubt a safety measures to prevent acquisition. The quick-thinking tactical officer of the USS Fahrenheit places a quick laser charge into the source of the power spike, sufficient to disable it but not destroy the probe. The probe is tractored into the cargo hold, where the Fahrenheit science and engineering teams can examine it. After several hours, they believe they have accessed its main memory core and the data contained within. The probe itself appears to be ancient, so much so that the species that launched it may no longer exist. The data is corrupted and heavily fragmented, so much so that nothing of value is retrievable. All right, let's jump over to the Skin of Evil. The Skin of Evil, if you remember, it is the episode when Tasha Yar and crew of the Enterprise, Tasha Yar is the security officer in Next Gen in the earlier seasons. They beam down to this planet, and this creature is holding the shuttlecraft and pilot hostage. If I do remember correctly, it was a pilot and Deanna Troi, the ship's counselor, that was in the shuttlecraft when all this took place. This is where Tasha Yar is actually killed by this creature. Lieutenant Worf later becomes the security officer. But because of this little thing right here, doesn't look like we're going to go delve in too deep into this storyline because of this event here. So, Skin of Evil. The crew began preparations to lead on the away team to the surface, with the ship's sensor detect a cascade reaction in the crashed shuttle's antimatter containment pods. Within moments, the containment fails and the shuttle and everything in a 50-kilometer radius is destroyed in the resultant matter-antimatter reaction. The shuttlecraft and its pilot are declared dead. So, That sucks. We won't have to deal with the evil spirits per se there anymore. Let's go on over here in the Andorian system and get that one right there cleared out. See what happens there. And while we'll pause, we'll go ahead and see about a few other things as well. Let's go ahead and move the construction ship down here to Caldic so that we can put an outpost there. Sigma Draconis is done with that, so let's go to Groombridge and we'll research the anomaly there. Altar's doing its thing of researching anomaly there, I believe, and we will keep moving on. All right, the fleet was just upgraded. Let's check that out, by the way. We've got 3 NX class and 3 frigates. We need to actually jump to our shipyard at Seoul real quick. We'll jump on that one in just a minute as well. That one that just popped up. We need to go ahead and get the San Francisco shipyards put in as well. And then the shipyard itself, let's go ahead and pump out 2 of these NX class ships here. All right, so it says we got the energy resources there done. See how we're looking on everything else. Let's go ahead and send the construction ship down to Altar and build some mining station and an observation station there, because we have a primitive civilization in that system. So let's keep going, moving on, and getting all this stuff taken care of. We still have more than 1,500 days on our Babel 1 conference, so we've got plenty of time. It's not a big rush on that. Like I said before, I would like to get a few more things done and accomplished before we do that. So one of our science ships on Altar 4 have found something, so let's go over it. There is clear evidence that a massive space battle took place in the close orbit of Altar 4 at some point in the last 5,000 years. The surface on one side of the planet is pockmarked with craters from stray weapons blast, and scans from the USS Cortez have picked up several hulks on the ground. Though these wrecked ships are all in very poor condition, the fact that anything remains at all after the damage they must have sustained is the testament of their advanced design. Science Officer Boyan is preparing an expedition to sift through these derelict holes for any valuable technologies. I have a feeling that one day when the human species starts traveling in space at this point, I believe that we're going to find a lot of things like that from maybe past civilizations that we will end up getting technologies from, simply because derelict ships and things of that nature being left around. So I got a mountain graveyard expedition here. We're going to go ahead and do that. I'm not sure exactly. I think that was on Groombridge, but I could be mistaken. No, it's not Groombridge. Which one was it? Ross 154? No, it is the USS Cortez. I just read that. I'm an idiot. Debris field. Strong gravity well of Ross 154 has pulled in a massive amount of space debris, which has formed a dense layer around the parts of the gas giant. Most of it appears to be wreckage from a series of space battles fought in the system several millennia ago. Scavengers have already scoured the debris of valuable technologies and artifacts, but a mining station should be able to recycle the metal. Interesting. So at Ross 154, they should be able to get a mining station put in there to kind of like help. Now let's go get the USS Enterprise to keep moving on and researching some more of these anomalies while we got time before we have to go deal with the Babel 1 conference. Our fusion torpedoes are just being researched. Let's go ahead and get traffic control. Traffic control, kind of similar what it does for us as a societal level right now. It will make these ships go through these systems quicker just by just a little traveling. All right, silent enemy. After a day in orbit at GX Andromeda with no progress in locating the source of unusual subspace readings, Captain Mura prepares to give the order to move on to the USS Fahrenheit's next survey target. Moments later, ship's sensors detect a surge in subspace activity followed by an appearance of an alien ship off the port bow. Heading the vessel proves fruitless, and after several minutes of silent confrontation, the ship warps away. All right, so on this one, just because I played this game before, on this, get out of Dodge. Okay, just leave it. You don't want to encounter that. That Joker will tear you apart. All right, so the USS Fahrenheit leaves orbit several light minutes away from the GX Andromeda. The ship's sensors detect another surge of suspect activity on the opposite side of the Andromeda. Arriving at the coordinates, the vessel is nowhere to be seen. However, the suspect's disturbance has at its heart an exotic particle fountain, rapidly decaying in intensity. The captain commits the USS Fahrenheit to study the particle fountain before it collapses. We got another upgrade for our ships, but right now we are currently building some on the space station here, so it'll just be put in line, and we're not going to upgrade all of these. We'll end up actually taking one of these or taking a couple of these smaller ships and just breaking them down. Oh, wait a minute. We got an observation post to put in here at Altar. They're still doing the research there. We'll hold off on that, of course, because we already talked about that. Let's see what Earth needs. Earth has a opening for a job, but no job. So let's see if we can find something new for it. This is going to be a good one here because this will help produce money and happiness and everything. So we'll do the administration center for right now. And guys, don't get crazy ham on building all these buildings and stuff that you see in the game. Of course, I should have mentioned this earlier in the other episodes, but don't get in a big rush. Don't build unless you see something right here that says you have unemployment. Don't build these buildings unless you need to. Okay. Now, of course, starting off, you want to go with things like fusion power, hydroponics bay, entertainment to keep your people happy and everything like that. But don't just go through here and, oh, I need this, I need that. Don't do that, because you will end up hurting yourself in the long run. And the majority of these buildings that you build won't have a worker in there working, so it's basically a waste of time and of resources. Let's see. Let's go ahead and start getting a couple colonial ships in. We're just going to do a few of the temperate planets. All right. Let me finish that up real quick. I'm sorry. We'll get back to this. On the temperate planets, it's usually the bright up green. The class M through O temperate, 80% human habitability. So those are the ones who will start off. Some of these other ones, like the polar or let me see, I'm trying to find another one besides polar and temperate. I'm not seeing them right now. That's temperate. What we got up here? All right, torrid. All right, you got two torrids right there. The torrid is for the Vulcan type civilizations, the ones that can deal with arid environments or deserts and things like that. And the polar, of course, are things for the Andorians and people who can, survive in the harsh winters and cold. But anyway, back to the special project. A team under Science Officer Andrew Boyan has finished their expedition Altair 4 and returned to the USS Cortez. Thankfully, the starship graveyard on the surface proved to be a technological treasure trove. Studying the remains of these vessels has advanced our research in certain fields by several years, and there are yet things to discover. A permanent science outpost in orbit would be a great boon to our starship and engineering efforts. So we will move the USS Cortez to the next anomaly, and when this construction ship here gets through building our observation post, we're going to have to build a research post as well. All right, so we are still moving on. Conference is a little more than 1,200 days away. Still plenty of time. Traffic control is now done. Let's go ahead and get the shield hit points, toppling, refining, research done. Let's see who all we've made mad. Serenely, we've made mad. Let's see why. Oh, our observation post. Okay. They don't like it. They don't like us building an observation post on Altar. Okay. And you'll see that they got Zybotus. colonized. Well, not necessarily colonized, but an outpost on it as well. All right, let's take our construction ship here and get this research station built. How is our technology looking? Engineering's at 41, society is 71, physics is 56. Looks like we're doing all right on pretty much everything that we need so far. We're not in the red anywhere. We're not in any trouble. I don't rush building a lot of star bases because in the event that had we gone the way we're going and the Federation forms, your borders are going to change dramatically. So you don't want to put 3 or 4 star bases right along this edge when your new border lines are going to be out here somewhere. Okay, because if the main 4 meet up, and that being the Tellarites, the Andorians, the Vulcans, and the humans, and they do form the Federation, you basically can now control all their territories as well. Something to keep in mind when you're going through doing that. All right, let's send our next construction ship up to that engineering research. The Enterprise is coming in. We're still not upgrading or updating our fleet just yet until we get the rest of these NX classes built, because we're going to end up getting rid of probably these frigates and just sticking primarily with the NX class starships for a while. All right. We have not been out to Claystron yet. I thought we tried to survey that place at one time. Let's get out there before he does. Got some more construction complete. That was our research station we just put in. Let's see, I got a construction ship here, so I'm going to send this guy towards Sol to get this done on this dilithium, and then turn around here and get this Telion crystals from Alpha Centauri, and then I can turn him around and send him to be upgraded overall. All right, let's get some administration in. Unlocks that tile. If you'll look right here, you have city, agricultural district, industrial district, commercial, education, administration. Each one of them give you little perks, but they also end up costing some materials as well, so you have to be very careful on that. Fragments of life. It appears that the asteroid 9965-1000 and the surrounding debris originated from a former planet. Deep within the center of the asteroid, we can find traces of extremely valuable alloys. There are also hints of bacterial life that has now died in the vacuum of space. This shows us that the celestial body once bore the promise of life. So the Enterprise just went to tile setting, got that done, and found some more alloys. Research station built at Kappa Francis. Let's see what else we've got. I can turn them back around, hit that mining station up. Some alloys are always important. All right, let's go ahead and get the Buttress core support hub. We will keep moving on. All right, space dock is done, so let's go look at our fleet real quick. We got 5, but I'm going to get rid of these frigates. Okay, not that they aren't any good or anything like that, but we're moving on, we're advancing on, so we want to make sure that we have the best in our fleet. And if you can remember, the NX class is what the show Enterprise is, what the ship they flew was, the NX class. That's with Archer and T'Pol and the earlier years of the Federation and United Earth. So let's go ahead and get these ships upgraded now. Since that's done, I got one of my other shipyard is currently building. All right, we're still denying those. Forgot where I was going there for a minute. I had the other shipyard building a few colonial ships, so we'll start looking about where we can plant, a few people. These 2 right here are usually pretty good because you're 95% human, 95% human, 13, 21. Talcetti's kind of small. Wabib is pretty good size. Thekla is pretty good size. That's what we got here. Neva Prime. Let's go ahead and put one on Kappa Francis. That's what we're gonna actually. Neva Prime. All right. Also notice that we have more than enough influence, so we're going to go ahead and build that star base there. Keep these construction ships and science ships going and on the move, so we don't get behind on anything. But we're doing fairly well. I mean, not too many issues have popped up yet. But on another anomaly discovery, let's see what the ancient remnants are about. Orbital scans of the Easy Quark CCA have located that what appears to be an ancient militarized facility lying in the ruins covering a portion of this planet, which has a strange dampening effect on our sensors across the area. With no sign of the dampening field, that word, I can't even get it out of my mouth, but I know how to. It's like on the tip of your tongue and just. Anyway, a full survey is proposed to investigate these ruins. So we're going to tell them to go ahead and begin the survey. All right, we have finished the Noblian patterns that we were researching. Our study into connections between the patterns observed in interstellar space and Denoblian swirls of light has unearthed surprising results. It seems that the rules by which the Denoblian make their light patterns are, unbeknownst to them, apparently the same as those by which the flows of hyperlane space drift over time, just on a vastly different scale. It follows that through studying the Denoblian, we will be able to better predict the flows of hyperlane space, significantly boosting our potential sensor range. Our eyes have been opened to new possibilities. So our ship warp detection range is now a +2. So any ships coming into our system or into a system that we could have that's just one solar system out by itself, we will know if anything is coming to us before it actually shows up in our system. So we're not caught off guard. All right, archaeological site discovery. We have discovered a new archaeological site. This is one thing that I absolutely love about the shows and Star Trek and the writers and the people who created it. Archaeology has always been a big thing with me. I wanted to be an archaeologist and everything. However, life changes your plans sometimes. But I've always wanted to be an archaeologist. I always like finding out about new people and cultures and civilizations and how they lived and everything. So when they started, when they put this in the shows and the movies or in the movies or whatever, this really was like, oh yes, this just made me, made my love for space and history just come together. So we have an archaeological site that has been detected. We just got to see if anyone's been there before us. So let's find out where it's at. All right, it's at Groombridge. This is perfect. It's at Esquirrel. Why did it come up Groombridge? It must have been like shifting that way. But this is perfect because this is in our system, which means we have first shot at researching this. No one can get to this before us. This is so astounding because usually it's in a different space of a rival or friendly civilization. 9 times out of 10 it's in a rival, and I never get a chance to discover it. So this is perfect. I've only done this like once or twice playing this game. So let's Captain Boy in here is just gonna go ham on this archaeological site. But that is so amazing. I do like that a lot. All right, matter of time. Source of quantum particles appears to be traceable to a small vessel in orbit of Luna Nova. Sensors are unable to penetrate its hull, and it appears to be drifting. Let's open hailing frequencies. Matter of time. Okay, if you guys remember in Star Trek Next Generation, supposedly they had a scientist, that's what he claimed to be, from the future. He was going back in time through time travel, and he was exploring the past, is what he told him. What really happened is this guy was actually from the past, and he jumped to the future, and he was trying to get technology to take back to the past with him to help improve life or improve himself and his position or whatever the case may be. I don't remember exactly how it played out in the episode, but like I said, guys, playing this Star Trek mod on Stellaris is so much fun because you actually get to intake in some of the episodes of Star Trek and some of the things that they went through. So it kind of like puts you in the seat of like, hey, what you gonna do? What's your choices here? All right, so let's get started. Matter of time. The vessel responds to the hail. Captain Jonathan Archer, please move about 1 meter to your right. Confused, the captain moves aside as the human materializes on the bridge. Excellent. Now, my name is Professor Burlingoff Rasmussen, and I have traveled back in time 2 centuries to study the crew of the Enterprise. The exploits of this ship and the Captain Jonathan Archer are legendary in my time, he says. So this is the options. You can assist the historian, refuse to be studied, or seize the time traveler. In the show, I believe they assisted because they believed him, but they ended up catching on towards the end of the episode, and I think pretty much took all the technology that he tried to take back to the past away from him. So we're going to assist the historian and see what happens. Rasmussen's time on the Enterprise is difficult for many of the crew. The constant stream of questionnaires and his not so subtle condensation do little to ingratitude. After a while, though, the Captain Archer strikes up a conversation with the time travel, and the two discuss United Earth history in the current year. Rasmussen appears horrified, however, after accidentally referencing a series of events that have yet to have occurred 4 years hence. Pleading to be allowed to preserve the timeline, he begs the captain to allow him to perform a memory wipe of their conversation. We could allow this, or we could refuse. Supposedly, he's telling me about something that hasn't happened or hasn't occurred yet. And it's supposed to happen within 4 years. So if I refuse, then I would kind of like know the future, basically. I'm going to refuse because he might try. Would you just allow someone to wipe your memory? I mean, they could wipe your entire memory. So I'm going to refuse. Rasmussen insists on departing immediately, beaming back to his shuttle. The vessel begins to move away. It hails the Enterprise once again. You left me no choice on this, I'm afraid. Temporal investigations will need to be involved now to repair the damage I made to the timeline. The shuttle disappears in a burst of particles. All right, so he might have been telling the truth. He might have actually been from the future, because we do know that temporal investigations do play a part in Enterprise, and I think it's Next Generation somewhat little bit they do, and I think Voyager they maybe mess with a little bit. I can't remember exactly. All right, temporal anomaly. A number of scientists across United Earth believe that they have identified signs of a change in the timeline, following a wave of radiation being detected sweeping across the quadrant at superluminal velocities. So far, no one has been able to identify the supposed changes. Oh, shit. We might have messed up. All right, so we got Kaldic is now got a outpost on it. We'll go ahead and get these mining station and research station cleared, because Cholesterol still has 9 more to go through and kind of investigate on it. Space dock looks good. Planets look good. We now have the core support hubs. Let's go ahead and get this bigger mine out of the way. Scientist is increased. All right, so we got some new ascensions to adopt. My new ascension pack, we pretty much got our territory kind of like set up. So this is where it kind of gets just more about your personal belief or opinion on how you want to do this and everything, because you have some more traditions to select from. You have the frontier diplomacy, ability, adaptability. I'm losing my shit. Adaptability, Section 31, harmony, federation, preservation, diversity. There are a few more, force of will, and ships of the line. So on Frontier, once we finish all this is going to be colonial development speed. Okay, so that's going to make our colonies increase more. Diplomacy is just an increase in your pop growth from immigration, and the influence cost has dropped down a lot too. And then adaptability is as far as adaptability on planets and districts, adding more districts to your stuff and everything. Federation. this will just basically have embassy complex, and you have interspecies crews. Now, usually at this point, after I do the traditional, or the first one, the first discovery, I usually tend to go to the frontier, because right now is when I'm going to start dropping in a bunch of colonies on a lot of these planets. So this would help us speed up and boost our, our colonization time. So that's what we're going to jump on. And you see it's got 5 as well as the last one before to go through and choose. Enthusiasm increases our trained officers production, and then above and beyond this is clear blocker cost. The clear blocker cost will affect things like our planetary systems. If you look here on your planetary system, you have where you can look straight at the brackets on rare features, or you can look at what's blocking you out and what specialties you have. So this one here has an odd factor in strategic location. Strategic location would mean I can put a naval supply depot on here, which will increase our overall naval capacity. The blockers is what one of the first things we'll research on that ascension pack is what's right here. These 3 right here, that way we can clear them out. And once we get that ascension pack, it'll be reduced a lot. It just makes this a lot quicker to clear out. Doesn't take you as much time. So that's what that's for. So let's keep moving on, getting this stuff taken care of, getting these planets surveyed and explored, get these mining stations and everything built up. All right, so what the hell is this? This is the Vulcan High Command, and they have 5 transport ships going across my space. Are they at war with someone?
A logical request.
Let's see. They're at war with the Andorians and Teskisi. Okay. Hey, didn't know that. All right, so let's look at our Babel conference. We still have 799 days, so we'll hold off on trying to get that taken care of immediately. Our enterprise is fully functional. Do we have any more up this way that we need to do? Don't see any more up this way. Let's send him down to here and research. And at this point, I think we're going to call the video. I am panicking with GreyWolfs Den. And don't forget, we're still trying to reach that 250 subscribers so that we can send out a signed shirt, hat, and $50 gift card. We will definitely be bringing back some more Stellaris for you guys. We really enjoy this game. We really enjoy playing, and we really enjoy you guys watching and commenting, liking, and letting us know how you feel about it and what else you would like to see us do. Also, we'll take a little poll if you guys want to, and we can see about which civilization we will play after playing United Earth / Federation. So if y'all want to comment, let me know which ones y'all would like to see done next. We can jump on that, or we can try out the Star Wars mod and go from there. But you guys let me know how you feel about it and everything, and we'll jump all over it.